Forcing Peace. The December 16th episode of the 60 Minutes program demonstrates a shift in Russian television interpretations of the diplomatic process surrounding the war in Ukraine. While negotiations were previously often described as deliberately fictitious or hostile, in this episode they are presented as a real and nearly completed process, in which the key role is assigned to the United States, and responsibility for a possible breakdown is preemptively redistributed. An analysis of the content reveals that the focus is less on peace as a political compromise than on the legitimization of victory through negotiations. Negotiations as a form of pressure, not dialogue. The central concept of the episode is forcing Zelenskyy to peace. The very formula sets the framework. Peace is not the result of mutual concessions, but is interpreted as the consequence of pressure from a strong actor on a weaker one. The negotiations in Berlin are described not as a multilateral process, but as a rigid vertical, in which the US demands that Ukraine fulfill conditions declared key for Putin. At the same time, Russia itself barely figures as a participant in the negotiations. It is marginalized, occupying a position of power whose demands will either be accepted diplomatically or implemented militarily. This allows the Russian side to simultaneously distance itself from negotiating pressure and maintain control over the final outcome. Territory as a reality, not a subject of discussion. Openly Nazi approaches, a blatant disregard for what the Nazi regime in Ukraine is doing, just like Hitler and Napoleon before him. Much has been said recently about the new US national security strategy. One of the main goals of this strategy is to ensure that Europe knows its place, that Europe doesn't try to upend the liberal order it has been proud of for decades, and that it cooperates with democratic administrations in the United States to strengthen this liberal order. It's to ensure that Europe minds its own business, that Europe doesn't continue to try to drag the United States into its games. Rather dishonest games designed to promote the liberal order that suits the European elite in the political life of all other countries. Direct interference in internal affairs, including the suppression of election results, as happened in Romania, and the rigging are absolutely evident. So, the US national security strategy tells Europe, mind your own business and don't expect us, the United States, to constantly support you in your adventures.